Hello, sir. My name is Alan Miracle. I have a complaint about a couple of police cruisers. I don't have the names of the officers. I just have the cruisers numbers.
Okay. Can you give me those?
Yeah, sure. Sorry about that. Okay, so the first one is 1128.
Okay.
And let's see. The second one is 141122.
That's not one of our unit numbers. Is that a tag number, maybe?
It was on the car. It's a supervisor SUV.
Okay, maybe it's 1122 then. 14 will be the year. Okay.
Oh, maybe so. Yeah, that works.
Okay, and was that the only two units?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and just briefly tell me where they were and what happened.
Yeah, okay, so each of them, it's two separate incidents. So the first one has to do... I'm sorry.
That's okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, so two separate incidents. The first incident was yesterday morning, and this had to do with 1128, the unit 1128.
Okay.
It was and they're both the exact same type of incident. So the 141122 was this morning. So I go to the abortion clinic at 2453 Wilcox Drive in Norman, and stand out there and I try to plead with people. I stand in the public right of way in the sidewalk and stuff, and try to plead with people not to go in, not to murder their child, etc. I do that on and off when I can. There is a number of officers that run security. I presume it's during their off duty. I presume they've been hired by the abortion doctor to do that. They wear their full uniform and regalia and all that kind of stuff. And I understand that's been approved by the department, I'm sure. But honestly, the use of official police cruisers is very, very bothersome. I understand if an officer uses the equipment that he's been issued, or however y'all acquire it, I'm not sure. So I apologize for my ignorance on that. But as far as using taxpayer-funded, cruisers to project an air of legitimacy to a place that murders children, that murders citizens, is I can't express how objectionable it is. It's extremely irresponsible. It's wicked. And it should not be tolerated by the police. It's one thing if the officer on his off-duty hours chooses to even dress up in his uniform and go play cop at the abortion mill, for some extra money. That's sort of understandable why the department would approve such a thing, even though it's awful and the department should not do so. But to use a taxpayer-funded police cruiser for that purpose, that shouldn't be happening at all. They should be using their private vehicle, or they should make some other arrangement for transportation. But under no circumstances should they use a Norman Police Department vehicle for the purpose that has nothing to do with the functions of police.
Okay, the reason the officers are hired there, is for security and protection, and that's one of the reasons they let them use the vehicle as well. They try not to get into issues such as this one way or the other. If some citizen or business wishes to hire them, they allow them to use their equipment in the vehicle.
Well, yeah, I mean, I certainly understand that is the case. Obviously, I doubted that they...
I can pass your concern up our chain of command, but that's the reason they have that there. There have been severe issues in places around the country, and whether it's a movie theater, abortion clinic, or whatever, if they want safety and security and visibility to try and prevent something, that's why they allow them to do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's been an issue, in any recent time at one facility, which wasn't even targeting an abortion doctor. It was just kind of some crazy guy going nutso and doing whatever he did. I understand why. I understand the security thing. I disagree with it. I think that you ought to tell him, no way, we're not going to legitimize your baby murdering by sullying the image of the police department. That's kind of your business. You guys will stand responsible before God for that. But you allow. Let me tell you something. Look, I understand that there's the issue of possible deterrence of a violent attack on that place. which in 37 years, I don't think that's ever been the case, and he certainly has nothing to fear from me or any of my friends. But when the officer is out there, not only is he deterring violent attacks, he's also deterring people from coming to talk to us about eternal life, forgiveness of sin, offering them choices, offering them other alternatives so that they don't murder their baby, because we want to help them. We want to give them financial assistance if they need it. We want to heal people rather than kill them. The presence of officers out there is making that not happen, because people become even more intimidated, and this is even worse. The officers are escorting people from the doors of this death clinic to their car, and what that does is it gives that person who might otherwise come maybe talk to me. I'm not screaming at them. I'm not screaming murderer in their face. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm talking to them like a normal human being. I'm asking them questions, and I'm offering the grace of Jesus Christ to them. The presence of an officer, especially a biased one, like the guy this morning who said that I was a self-righteous jerk. He said that. I have it on video. It's a very a very unprofessional thing to say to some citizen he doesn't even know. So to say that to somebody that he doesn't even know, just because I'm crying out and trying to stop the murder of children, he is preventing people from coming to talk to me just by his presence and just by his walking, because the inertia of his movement toward the car makes them not want to break that inertia and come talk to me, because usually people are kind of teetering on the edge anyway, if anything. And so this is not just we don't have anything to say about it. We're the police department and we don't, micromanage the officers' decisions and actions. You have taken a side, and the side that you've chosen is the side that murders babies. That's the side. So by allowing him to use that vehicle, by allowing him to use the paraphernalia of the police department, you have shown yourself to be complicit in this action. And by the fact that these officers are going beyond just providing security and providing an armed presence to deter an armed attacker, you're actually deterring people talking about the real problem that led them there to murder their baby, and you are preventing people from knowing the truth about abortion, about Jesus, and all that kind of stuff. Or if you don't even want to go that far, you're preventing people and actively preventing them from even hearing the other side of the matter from my mouth or from the mouth of my friends or other people at my church, whatever the case is. By providing this escort service, you show yourself to be complicit. So it's not a matter of neutrality. This is not. I've seen it happen. I have recordings. Warm handshakes with the baby murderer himself. Warm handshakes with the staff. Making sure that people get from the clinic door to their car door. You're not neutral. These officers are acting in a way that shows that they are on the side of the baby killer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, sir, but if someone hires them for security and they want them to walk them up to the car, they're going to be allowed to do that. I don't make the decisions on who gets to work there. We don't do anything when a business owner calls. We don't say we're going to for you and not for another. If we have a universal application when someone wants to hire us to do security, then we're not taking one side or the other in our perception. We've had a request from a business or a citizen to do something. They have a concern. They want to have an officer there. So like if the movie theater never had an armed robbery, still wants to have an officer there. Just because there's not been an incident there doesn't mean they want to have the perception that it's a safe place to come to. And it's not agreeing with one person's opinion or not over another. So I can pass your concerns up the chain of command to the rest of the department.
Oh, certainly. Please do, definitely. But let's not kid ourselves. This is not a business. This is, it is a business, but at the core,
it is a business, but
officially, it is a business. Sure.
With, and I understand that. And you're very passionate about
this. Is not just that. This isn't about just whether I agree with them. This is about what they do. This guy has been murdering babies for decades, and that ought to concern the police, because you have a responsibility. Because of your oath to uphold the Constitution, to protect and serve the innocent. But here we have officers who have taken that very same oath as you have, who are using the power and the authority granted by the police department and by the laws that empower the police department to do evil and wickedness. And that is at the very least hypocrisy. And of course it's, to say nothing of the judgment before God that you'll endure and that these officers will endure. So, a violation of your oath is a very, very serious matter, and that ought to concern you gravely. I think that you ought to take it very seriously when officers are doing this. The same excuse that you're offering now could have been, and in fact was offered, by law enforcement officials and agents who would infiltrate northern non-slavery states back in the 19th century to retrieve runaway slaves and bring them back to their owners in the South. They could just say, well, I was just following orders. I was just doing what my department told me to do, or what what the slave guy paid me to do. That's what the Nazi guards at the death camps during the Second World War said. They said they were just following orders. They were following what the law said. That's not going to be a good excuse. History will judge you, but more than that, God will judge everybody who does that, and everybody who stands by and complicitly allows it. Apathetically allows it, and therefore they're complicit in it. So, you took an oath. You and these other officers did that, and the fact that these officers are now violating their oaths with the full approval of the Department of Police. You can sit here and say it's my opinion all day long, but you don't have an argument against me. It's just that you don't want to hear it, and you really ought to.
I can take a complaint about an issue. I can tell you that we comply with the law to the best of our knowledge, and I will pass the information you've given me on up the chain of command.
Alrighty. Is this going to be so it is a complaint, and it is an issue that you will bring to them?
I will tell them you want to lodge a complaint about them using their vehicles for the abortion clinic and escorting people out there, correct? And that you don't think the police car should be used for that.
Yeah, that's pretty much the essence of my complaint. But I urge you, just on a personal level, to think really hard about what I've said, especially if you think that the Bible is worth reading or has anything to do with God. You have a personal responsibility as well to
I did
take
need a
proper
couple more
action.
questions for you to make this a complaint.
Sure.
So I can send up the chain of command.
Go for it.
I need to get your name.
Name is Alan, A-L-A-N.
And your last name?
Miracle, M-A-R-I-C-L-E.
Okay. And do you have a phone number you may contact it at?
405-237-5656.
405. And you said yesterday was involving someone on Unit 1128. About what time was that?
I'm going to say about 7:30 in the morning. And today about the same.
Morning? About 7:30. Okay, I think that'll be enough to document what I need to send it up the chain to get your concerns voiced and addressed, and we can go from there.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Okay, bye.